Hello, LGs, ladies and gents. This is the lady. I wanted to come in and talk with you guys about step parenting, and yeah, if you guys are interested in, of course, my spill on it, then of course continue to watch. Okay, guys. So my experience with being in a household where I had I have sisters and brothers who are my stepsisters and stepbrothers. Okay, um, but as a child growing up, I had no idea that they were step sisters and stepbrother. And I think that's and I believe that's the way it should be. Okay, I didn't realize that my sisters and my brother were not my, sisters because that's not the way we were raised. Um, and I kid you not, you guys, I was in college. Okay, I was coming home from college, from school, driving home from school, and there was a topic on the radio about stepsisters and stepbrothers and that kind of thing. And I remember saying to myself, okay, if I had stepsisters and brothers, I wouldn't call them that. I wouldn't want them to be called stepsisters and brothers. And that's when I had that ding moment, like, wait a minute, I do have stepsisters and stepbrother. Okay? But that's how ingrained parents raised us to embrace each other as just sisters and brothers. That's all we were. My mother married my father, and she had already 4 kids. Okay, and then me and my brother made 6. So it was 6 of us in our home, and we were just a very close family, very caring about each other family. That there was no step anything. If I had even tooted my mouth up, to say my stepbrother and my stepsisters, my parents probably would have went off because it wasn't allowed. But not so much that it wasn't even allowed, it just wasn't even thought of. Okay. My father disciplined them just the way he disciplined us. He rewarded them just the way he rewarded us, so there were no differences. And because there were no differences, we didn't even know that we were. I certainly didn't, and I'm the baby in the family. And that's how I went into my relationship with my husband now. My firstborn was by my first husband, and when I left him, when I left my first husband, my son was a baby. Okay, and when I married my husband now, 25 years later, um, my son was only 2. Okay, it's all about marrying the right person. Okay, um, having establishing a good relationship with that person and making sure that your child has a good relationship with that person as well. Okay. When we started dating, and he would go out with me and my son, he would have him on his shoulders, taking him places, and people thought, that was his son because they were like, he looks just like you. And the saying about, if you feed them enough, they start to look like you. Well, I guess that was the case. But, there were some things that we sat down to discuss about discipline. I trusted the guy I married not to be abusive towards my son or myself. And you have to have that trust. You have to have trust in your partner to know that they have the best interest for your child. If there's no trust in that, then you really don't need to be with that person. Because we had that trust. I had that trust in him. I was okay with him disciplining my son because I know that he wasn't going to do anything to hurt him, in a mean way. You know what I'm saying? If someone is beating you or hurting you, that's not done with love. That's someone who is trying to hurt you physically, break you. That's not discipline, okay? And I would not tolerate any of that kind of behavior towards my children. And this step parenting thing shouldn't even be an issue. My husband doesn't call our son his stepson. And when my son was growing up, he had relationships with his grandparents and his father. Okay. Now, granted, me and the father, that was over. I left him and didn't want to go back, didn't go child, just because the relationship that I had with his father didn't work out. I wasn't going to punish my son from seeing his father. That's, you guys, is the beauty of raising the children in the right way with the right mindset, and not letting your children see that there's any division or any divide or any favoritism between the two. Now, of course, my children are just like anyone else. They're always fighting about who's their favorite. Mom likes the son better than the daughter, and the dad likes the daughter better than the son. That's just typical children. Has nothing to do with being raised by someone who is not each other's father. Okay, so yeah, they do go through that, but for the most part, it's my daughter and my son doesn't call each other stepsister and stepbrother, because that's not the way they were raised. That's not the way I was raised, and so that conversation just doesn't even come up. Okay, I want to get your opinion on this topic. I was watching this on the Steve Harvey show on YouTube, and I thought it would make a great topic, because I think we just need to get away from that term step sister and step brother, and just be sisters and brothers. Okay, just know that you're loved by both parents, and hopefully you are. And if you have, any kind of feeling that you're different or you're being treated differently, talk to your parents, because you want to nip that in the bud. The minute you feel that there is some kind of favoritism, there could be no stepsisters and brothers involved at all. It's just something about having multiple children that everybody feels that someone else is the favorite. Okay, everybody thought I was the favorite because I was the baby, and actually I'm not the baby. My youngest brother was the baby, and and so of course we all thought he was the favorite in the family because he was the youngest. Okay. So anyway, I hope this was a topic that you guys can really get involved in, and leave some comments if you've been through this, if you're going through this. If you have stepsisters and brothers, do you call them stepsisters and brothers? I just don't. Just like we should be thinking of ourselves in the realm of being God's children. There's no stepsisters and brothers in God's house. So there's not going to be any stepsisters and brothers in mine. And so that's the way I feel about it. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to come in and talk to you guys. I just wanted to come in really quick and talk to you guys about that. Leave any comments that you may have in the comment section, and if you feel like you want to talk to me personally and privately, you can also email me at thelady@50@gmail.com, and we can converse that way as well. So thanks again for watching, listening, commenting, of course subscribing and liking the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. This is the lady signing off for now. Bye bye.